Just when you thought we couldn't fuck up any harder, we're back. Welcome to Hardcast. I am Billy Mills Curran. I am joined by Sack, who lost his name in a game of AAA, to Nick Pinn. Nick, please introduce yourself.
My name is Sack, the artist formerly known as Nick Mayo. I lost my name to Nick Pinn, so we wouldn't have two Nicks in Duress Crew. And I'm an elf pilot.
And we have a very special guest here, Justin Pro-ven-sall. Say hello to the crowd, Justin.
Hi, Billy. Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Pro-ven-sall. I also go by Biggs Online, and I'm a recovering Dreadnought addict. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so today's episode, we're going to be talking. This one's going to be a remote one. So we're not all in person here. I'm currently on a work trip, so I'm recording this in a hotel room. So we're all on Discord. We're going to have ourselves a shoot the shit about Survival the Fittest. And I got my notes. Nick's been playing elves for a long time. I'm a recent convert. I'm playing a weird Survival Tarragon brew. Justin, what have you been on lately?
So I've been doing a lot of fair share of Angry Elves, like Sec, and I've also been doing a lot of Cradle Control. Current flavor is Cradle Control, though.
What is Cradle Control?
So Cradle Control is more of a utility, like toolbox version of Angry Elves. You have a lot of one-ofs. Examples are Orcish Settlers. You have the one main deck Massacre, one Kesa, one Genesis, and of course you have the Anger package. But it's just slightly different. You play like Sylvan Libraries, and you just have like more of a balanced mana base. It's a little better against certain red decks, and it's just more of a mid-range deck and not as a fast combo deck as Angry Elves is.
But you've been doing well in, was it the CPL League, right?
The Fall Brawl Justin's been playing.
What is the Fall Brawl? Yeah.
All right, so the Fall Brawl started in October. It replaced the monthly for the month. And normally it would have been the October monthly, but they made it the Fall Brawl instead. I believe Michael Arnold, Michael J. Yep, is the one that set up the Fall Brawl. And he also runs Hoip. My apologies. He also runs the Spring Fling.
Okay, so let's go even a layer up. So some of our best Hardcast episodes have been a little bit more like noob friendly. So like people normally know you as a Dreadnought player. You got second in LobsterCon last year playing Dreadnought. So what are all these words you're saying? Fall Brawl, Spring Fling, monthly. That's not the ELD monthly. That's not the paper event.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Okay. So Michael Hoyt, it's been a mainstay in the community for pre-modern since anyone in this podcast has been playing pre-modern. He goes by Cloud Goat Ranger on Twitch, and he often hosts various webcam tournaments, namely the ones Justin listed off, Spring Fling, which happens in the spring. Sometimes doesn't end in spring, but it happens in the spring. Fall Brawl happens in the fall. It's a webcam tournament, and the PSS, which is the Pre-Modern Showdown series. Typically once a year, he has various community members come on. They have like an 8-pod of people who play each other each week, and they compete. So Mike's been doing this for a while. Justin just played in the Fall Brawl. He made it all the way to the semis. We'll talk about that match at some point. But, like Billy said, we wanted to talk about Survival, and Justin's been really killing it in Cradle Control. So that's kind of how this all tied in.
So Cradle Control is... I assume it takes its name from the Legacy deck, which is like a bunch of just like green. It's like a soupy Cradle deck, but it also has a bunch of like weird recursion stuff like that. What's that like the cool creature?
The White of the Reliquary?
Well, that card's cool. But what's the other one? There's one that like you pay.
Fiend Artisan?
Yeah, Fiend Artisan. Yeah. So
yeah, I would love Fiend Artisan.
But in pre-modern Cradle Control, it's like it's halfway. It's green red elves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got, or not. It's like green red survival, and it's like 40% elves instead of 95% elves, right?
Yeah, I would go with that percentage, just about.
Okay, cool.
So like normally in elves you would run like multiples priests, multiple dorks, multiple wirewood symbiotes, acolyte. This version said, well, we're losing to X1 hate, we're losing to E-plague, so we're gonna go with one ofs for that. So one priest, one acolyte, one symbiote, and then we're gonna fill in the deck with 4 birds, 4 wall blossoms to kind of build this more mid-rangey version.
I've heard some people talk about this, like I've heard Lanny Huang refer to this and similar builds as untapperless elves. This is
Yes.
a fair statement? Okay.
Very, very close.
Yeah. I feel like Survival has been kind of having this like renaissance of creativity, where there was like, I think people are. There was just, I don't know where to say. I think people are exploring Survival on more, with more creative terms, particularly because they're realizing that you can if you just put 3 library in it, you can kind of play whatever you want. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's such a cool card, man. I'm going to use a term that I've heard you use when describing decks within a realm. It's Survival is like a spectrum. Like, it can literally be everything from black-green Survival to straight up mid-range, where Survival is just a value piece, to Feb, right? Which is hyper combo. I'm going to try and play like Hermit Druids and just try and kill you as soon as I land a Survival of the Fittest. And then you have Elves in the middle, which, can be more mid-rangey. It could be more of a combo deck. Survival really is such a cool card because it really lets you just like brew what you want, because it gives you effective more copies of the creatures that you want to cast. And you can really do so much cool things. Like we play 3 different decks here,
Yep.
Your deck's a little more similar to Cradle Control than like Elves is. But it's all built around one card. It's so cool.
Nick, you're the only one who's played all 3 of these decks.
Yes.
Yeah. Which one's the best?
Which one's the best? I think Elves is still the best.
I think you're right.
I don't know.
That card's really good. Or that deck's really
like
good.
So I wanted to ask you a couple questions about your deck, which is called Corned Beef Hash, which is really just translation for Terrageddon Survival, because that deck's really cool, but it had a couple. You've really tuned that deck. It's really good, but it's living on the edge for sure.
Yes.
We'll get to that in a minute. And then like I played Cradle Control at Eternal Weekend, and it was okay, but I was losing matchups that felt like I would normally dumpster them with Elves, and I had to work a lot harder for it than I wanted to. So I really kind of came off it. I don't think it's like terrible or anything. I just think it's they're all meta calls, right? I think there's times where Corned Beef Hash is better than Elves. Like if I'm walking Room of Goblins, I'd rather play your deck or Cradle Control,
Yeah.
than Elves.
I was getting dumpstered for a while by Goblins, and then I started just like
you
play
figured
the
it
card
out.
that beats it. Well, yeah, that was like the same thing with like either splashing for white or for red in Terravor Oath. It was like, dog, just play the cards that beat aggro. Just go for it, man. Like chill. Like stop trying to be clever. Just do it.
Earthquake's a banger.
Yes.
So Billy plays what's called Corned Beef Hash, which is when I say it's living on the edge, it's because this deck has both Survival of the Fittest and Mox Diamond in it. Both cards that demand extreme deck building constraints. Mox Diamond wants you to have maximum lands, and Survival wants you to have maximum creatures. So balancing around that's really difficult. And Billy figured out, hey, if I play Sylvan Library between these two, I can help filter my draws and decide what I need in that moment. And it's a really cool toolbox deck. Like Wayfarer getting Cradle is just like chef's kiss. I love that.
I've been messing around with an Angry Wayfarer, and holy shit, Survival for anger. Go get Wayfarer. Go get your mountain, and then just start like ripping out. Just keep getting cradles and like hasty Terravors. Just like go get another cradle. Go spit out 2 Terravors. It's like,
so sick.
It's pretty violent.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. It's just like, okay, I'll just sack this cradle because I just played one. Search for another. It's pretty dumb.
So I think one of the most important things in all of these decks is that you have like a backup plan. And I like your backup plan, Billy, because you're just like, well, I'm just gonna play like Wayfarer Mage into Terrabor and then like get in you. Like don't even need survival, right? Or Cradle Control, you can just, play a Skyshroud Poacher. Elves usually have to sideboard into that backup plan. But I think that's super important in any survival deck.
This is actually a really good segue into a section of my notes. So I just did some research. I looked on MTG Top 8, and I looked for professional level events. So that's I would say generally these events have been above 128 players, which is what passes for professional and pre-modern. And 280 decks came up. So this is like top 64 of a couple Lobster Cons, Czech Nationals, the big Spanish events, Euro Champs, things like that. So there are 280 decks that came up. How many of them do you think had Survival the Fittest in them?
Probably like less than 10%.
I would say 25.
25? There were 34 Survival decks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so for context...
Wow, that's more than I was expecting.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, there were 45 Dreadnought decks, 30 Oath decks, 44 Mox Diamond decks, 51 Mog Fanatic decks, and 37 Duress decks.
Damn. Ban Mog Fanatic.
Yeah. I think that it is interesting because it's like what percent make it, which would there would be a certain eliminating factor, but the fact that like Goblins and Sly are such classic and such accessible and cheap decks, and it's like you can get to 40% win rate very quickly with both of those decks. So I think just like the sheer mass of people playing those cards probably contributes to Mog Fanatic's ascendancy. Although Burn and Goblins are both above 50% decks. So that was like a little more intro thing. But Nick, the thing that made me pick up this piece of paper was alternate plans. Plans. Okay. And we can just rip through them, or we can chit chat. Ready?
Yes.
So I don't know what it is, but people want to play a 4-mana spell as their alternate plan. And the most popular ones I found were Opposition, Pattern of Rebirth, Natural Order, and Allurin. Or Alarin, however you say it. Yeah.
It's because, I know, before that, what do you have, right? Call the Herd?
Yeah.
Call the Herd's okay.
Yeah. What's up, Justin? What were you about to say?
Call the Herd. I mean, I love Call the Herd. Like, the first half, which is a 3-mana, you have the second half, which is a 4-mana. I mean, against an aggro deck, especially in like an elf variant or a Terrabor variant, like your corned beef hash, like having Call the Herd is like quality. Like it takes up 2 removal spells, and it's also a 3/3 creature. So if you're working on more of a Pyroclasm, which we've been seeing a little bit in Cradle Control and on Nick's Elves list, like it's like bread and butter. Like Pyroclasm and Call the Herd just seems like something that goes really good as an alternate plan when you're on a survival deck.
And you're also like, I don't play Call the Herd in corned beef hash. I think it's plausible. It's not crazy. I think my creature count is like so stretched. By like the 2 cards that are really fucking with it. Like Geddon I could play, 2, 3, whatever. But the 2 cards that are really fucking with it are Swords and Mox Diamond. Yeah. I'm not. I have such feelings about Mox Diamond. But other things that people are playing besides these like 4-mana, it's kind of interesting. Opposition, Pattern of Rebirth, Natural Order, and Allurin are all cards that are harmonious with either a mass of creatures, which is what you do when you when you're seeking to satisfy the discard requirement of Survival of the Fittest, or some fucked up specific silver bullet in the case of Pattern of Rebirth, where it's you would use either Survival or Pattern of Rebirth to set up something outrageous. Other notable cards were Recurring Nightmare and Food Chain. Yep. And then
really?
Yeah, Food Chain. Yep. People don't play it as much as they used to.
Food Chain Elves is a thing.
Yeah, Food Chain Elves is a thing. It's most fucked up with Goblin Recruiter, which I think Sunny.
Which is banned.
Yeah. Sunny played that in PM Unchained. And then there's the secret anti-survival. You guys know what I'm talking about? Tortured Existence.
Oh, yeah. Tordex. Man.
Yeah. You know what that deck's called?
It's called The Problem, right?
The Problem. You know why it's called The Problem?
Because it was a problem. Now it isn't.
No, because it's the opposite colors of the solution.
I love that.
Isn't that great?
No, that's classic.
It's such a shitty answer. Like, it's like everybody
playing the problem,
and it's like if you know the reason why, you just like tell everybody, like, oh, get it.
God,
cool.
I
think one thing regarding alternate plans is I think every survival deck, I have yet to find a survival deck that doesn't have to consider this matchup, but we do not like basic mountains. We don't want to see them. We don't want to play against them. I haven't seen I would say Cradle Control is probably proven to be the best versus that basic land, and even then you can still lose. Like, it is just really tough. Mountains are so good at killing creatures. They're so good at going over the top of your creatures or going around. Billy, I know you had made some deck changes to deal with goblins and Sly, or elves too, because just dealing with other, decks that just puke their permanents out, puke their spells out. And it's really, really tough. It's something that we have to consider at basically all times. Justin, how have you felt about Cradle Control versus red decks?
So overall, I've been 50-50 on red decks, and this is also including gameplay. During the Fall Brawl, I played against, Sly during the Swiss. It was an absolute nail-biter of a game. It really came down to Wall Blossoms. Wall Blossoms was like my mini silver bullet that really helped me deal with a ball of lightning and to like keep my life total as high as possible. If it wasn't for the wall effects, I don't think that it would be like that good. I think you really do need wall effects, Call the Herds to just deal with those low down aggressive strategies that are presented by mountain decks.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Goblins included too. I mean, it's definitely, like you said, I like that you use the term mini silver bullet because Wall of Blossoms is really good in those matchups, but you still need to do things, right? And Wall of Blossoms doesn't really do anything besides buy you time. It's almost kind of like the argument for Tanglewire in some of these decks where it's like, okay, you landed a Tanglewire, but now what? And so I think the 4 Wall of Blossoms access in Cradle Control is huge for dealing with those kind of matchups. Billy, you have Wall of Roots, which notably isn't as good versus Sly because at a certain point they can bolt it. But How do you feel versus Sly?
The Sly was everywhere for like 8 months, a year. And I, for whatever reason, am just like, I don't see it that often. I don't really feel that fucked up about it. It's like if I smell it, if I smell something burning, I just put a Bailoff in my sideboard and like am largely content with that. Yeah. So, Justin, Bailoff or Spike Feeder?
I know Justin's answer.
So this is a good
because it's neither. I was gonna say Master. I thought you were gonna say Mastercore.
Okay, you know what? Okay, you win this one, Zach. I am a sucker for a Mastercore. It really is amazing. Not even just for like the red decks. Like I also like it against other variations of colors, but specifically red decks. You're gonna love this one. So in November, the November monthly, I was playing against Sly in the top 16. This person had get their winning in. They were tied with 16 and 17. So Fly won. I played against them, and I made the rookiest mistake ever. And this is including a Masticore. I don't know why I did this. Maybe nerves, maybe just general stupidity. I just played a naked Masticore with no cards in hand. And my thought process was, oh, I can kill a ball of lightning. I can kill a creature. And my opponent earthquakes my board, and I'm left with nothing. And my Masticore went dead. I ended up losing that match. My opponent drew Fire Blast, Grim Lava Minister.
That's how it goes.
But yeah, normally speaking, I think Masticore is my 4-mana way of dealing with the red decks, especially Sly.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because in something like Cradle Control and Elves, Masticore is a really good answer for things like red decks, black decks, Goblins, Sly, mono black mid range. It's just a powerhouse. But I was not necessarily helping Billy a ton, but Billy was bouncing ideas off me for corned beef hash, and we kind of landed off Masticore once we realized the mana requirements are really, really steep.
Yes, where you guys are getting this is kind of funny. It's like you guys are both 4 Cradlers, and I am a 1 or 2 of Cradler. So the way that I get my mana advantage against my opponent is not by making 11 mana against their 4 or what have you. I am trying to make 2 mana against their 0. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. How often do you actually have 6 mana to play a Masticore and have regeneration mana or something?
Yeah, it's like it's super late when I'm just like throwing bombs against counter spells and just trying to like Angel Genesis it back, like shit like that. That's the only time I really have 6 mana. Is like big Cradle turns on like turn 6. It is not something I can like consistently and reliably do.
What's cool about your deck too? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I would say what's cool about your deck is you're at least green survival deck.
I am.
So you don't care about Perish or E-Plague or stuff like that.
E-Plague doesn't intimidate me, but Perish can be. It's like I'll set up. Like I'll go like Birds, Wall of Roots, Safekeeper, and then go like Terravore, and I'm like, I feel pretty safe. I have Safekeeper Terravore, and I'm gonna make it a 6/6, and then attack you twice with this like Shrouded Terravore, and then they perish me, and then I just die. So that is something that has happened to me plenty of times. Perish is still pretty good. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, seems reasonable. I mean, like, I guess that's fair. Like, you do run 4 Birds, 4 Walls, 3 Terravores.
Yeah.
Not 4.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But do you find like yourself, if you played against the mono black mid range deck at all?
I have.
Moneyball block.
Whenever I
How do you
hang
feel?
out, so I go to. All right, so the 3 stores that I play at with any regularity is ELD's in Bellingham for his monthlies. I play my weekly at Great Stories, and then if I am looking for more Magic, I'll go play with the Zukru guys, and that is a very black meta game. And I go there and I lose all the time, and I just haven't figured it out yet. Gonna work on my tech, but I don't have the answer yet, and I'm hoping the answer isn't something as uncouth and gauche as just Compost side. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe Aramancer. Like, I can, they make me, I get survival set up. They start fucking with me, and I don't know. Maybe I'll just get some. I have no idea. No, I have no idea.
It's a weird case where Pyroclasm is slightly better because it actually hits hippie.
Yes, I do. I do win some matches.
That's like an edge case.
Yeah, I do win some matches by Clasming away like a Wretch and a Hippie, which would normally be quite good against me.
Right.
Yeah. Justin,
I
what do you
really think Pyroclasm.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was saying, Justin, what do you think?
Oh, I'm on Pyroclasm train right now. As the formerly known artist of Nick. I do think Pyroclasm is definitely needed against these new Money Ball Black strategies. A lot of X1, X2s. It's also good against just an average aggro deck, and also helps your Goblins matchup, your Slime matchup, and even the Elves mirror. Like, as Trio Control, like, being able to have less one-drops that are killed by your Pyroclasm, it definitely helps in the format right now with the way everything's evolving.
So why not Quake? That's what I did. Let's your birds live.
Quake doesn't hit. Quake doesn't hit Hippie, and Hippie is a huge problem.
Yeah,
like a turn 1 Hippie is very difficult to deal with, because by the time you get the mana to do like a Thornscape Battle Mage or something, it's probably made you discard 3 cards.
Yeah,
maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah. Sometimes it hits.
And Dark Ritual. That's all I can say.
Dark Ritual is not a card that intimidates me. I'm like stoked for this. So here's one thing I feel about pre-modern is that, like, if somebody wants to get me with like something that's cool and interesting and creative, I'm like all about that. And if those mono black mages want to stuff me in a dumpster and leave me for, public works to pick up, that's going to be fine with me for like several more months. And it's like cool. Like it's an inexpensive deck. It dumpsters Dreadnought. Like, I'm like totally cool with this. So
I think it's awesome. I definitely don't hate to see it. You
What's
have
that,
to play
Justin?
it against it?
Hang on. You say it doesn't dumpster Dreadnought?
No, I haven't played against it.
Oh.
Sorry, there's a slight delay on that. So yeah. I apologize if I'm coming in. I'm just trying here.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. So let's see what's going on. All right. So I'm just gonna keep on. I got all these notes. I'll keep hitting them. All right, boys. Take your pick from the following. So how about this? Masticore brings up Go Wide. So are you guys Masticore, Team Masticore, or Team Sharpshooter?
Oh man, I was just talking about this with Justin earlier. I am Team Masticore all the way. Shout out to Patsky, Masticore fan club, hashtag. Rich J is not a member of the Masticore fan club, but I am.
How about you, Justin?
So, it's in Cradle Control. I'm currently on both. I have 2 Masticore, 1 main, 1 side, and I have a Sharpshooter. I think the Sharpshooter is a weird scenario where it comes in. This is an expectation of what I expect to play against, is why I have a Sharpshooter in my sideboard. I expect to play against a lot of elves, historically speaking, online. But overall, though, I think Masticore is the absolute bee's knees and should be in every survival deck, at least 1 copy.
It definitely at least 1.
So my answer for this question is a cop-out. When I see players going wide and I would want to board in a Sharpshooter or a Masticore, I board out my Squee and my Survival, and I bring in 3 Earthquake and 3 Cataclysm because I can't keep up with them.
No, I think that's super reasonable in your deck too, Billy.
Yeah, I just turn into like...
Wow.
Yeah, I just turned into the most hateful... Like, Terragon... But it's like I can't out survival. Yeah, okay, I'm on the play. Like, I could set up like I can't set up a hasty Sharpshooter. So I have I've gotten like a game against Nick, and I beat this other guy in Eternal Weekend, I think once or twice, by setting up Safekeeper Sharpshooter. So they just like so I blank their Sharpshooter activation at the cost of a land, and then they can never get rid of mine because who's playing a sweeper? But it really only works on the play. I can't beat them on the draw because they can get a hasty one.
So earlier today, we were playing at the Great Stories Weekly. Justin came down, said hi, and we were talking about Sharpshooter a little bit. And I was saying, at least in Elves or even Cradle Control, I don't think it's good. It's not very good against the problematic cards in Goblins. There's almost it's like good versus Elves, and that's about it. And even then, like, is it really that much better than just running a Pyroclasm, which is really good versus Goblins and has text versus other matchups, like the Black matchup? Like all the main problems in Goblins are X2s, right? So what is sharpshooter doing? You're like killing a lackey, which probably already got in.
Yeah.
It's like what are we even doing here? It doesn't kill Mog Fanatic. You're gonna shoot a Goblin Matron, which already drew whatever card they wanted, and then War Chief, Pile Driver, Siege Gang. None of these cards really care about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not really crazy about it. I don't think it's super playable. I think it's hard to cast and hard to line up, and I think Pyroclasm is just infinitely better.
So we are now going to
Pyroclasm is a good thought.
We're now going to move up the damage chain from 1 point of directed damage to 2 points of directed damage. Gentlemen, Thornscape Battle Mage or Gitu Slinger, and why?
Oh, I mean, in Elves, this is what's so cool about Suvival too, right? Because in Elves, obviously Thornscape Battle Mage, you can bounce it with Wire Symbiote. It has text with Priest. It's so good, man. It's so good. But like maybe in your deck, Billy, Gitsu's kind of the move. But you can also make white, so you can even kick Thornscape for destroying artifacts.
Yeah, that's how I often win games against Terrageddon. Is I like let them get a land for a turn and then get the Mox and the Wayfarer.
Yeah, which is just it's so good. I've kicked it one time. I've only done this once. I did it versus Slag. I kicked it for red and I kicked it for white, and I blew up a Lava Mancer and a Curse Scroll, and that was just like game over, just straight up game over.
So here's my question for you guys. All right, so Thornscape Battle Mage costs 4 to kill an artifact and costs 4 to deal 2 directed damage. Why don't we just split it across into Uktabi Orangutan and Gitu Slinger? They're both a mana cheaper, and we are a toolbox deck. How do you justify yourself, Nicholas?
2 slots versus 1.
2 slots versus 1?
Yep.
Justin, what do you think?
So I'm with Nick on this one. Definitely 2 slots versus 1. I don't enjoy the echo on Gitu Slinger. I understand that being a Genesis deck, like I believe Corned Beef Hash is Genesis deck. Is this correct?
You're saying Genesis? That's a contentious.
Yes.
That's contentious. It's not.
That's contentious.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is the normal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's back this train up a little bit. I think if you were playing Genesis in your Corned Beef Hash, which is contentious, that Gitu Slinger would be better because you can let it die to its own echo trigger.
Okay.
But if you were relying on a single point and you had only 1 cyber slot, I would rather have a Thornscape Battle Mage, especially if you have a Genesis, just so you can return it after it dies. Like if you're playing against a mud deck, which this is like really bizarre right here, what I'm about to say. You pay 5 mana because you can kick both sides of the board. You can blow up an artifact and use the ping ability to ping itself, put it into your graveyard, and then Genesis it back to your hand on the next upkeep to redo it again for that matchup.
I've never done that. I am probably too cowardly to try and do a 5, a 3, and a 5 mana line against. I mean, there are decks that have 4 to 8 artifacts, which are hugely consequential. Notably, your main deck, Dreadnought. But I just, again, Battle Mage. I play Thornscape Battle Mage for a very specific deck building feature that it has across my colors. And we'll get into that a minute, but we're going to go further up for the killing creatures line, and we will ask ourselves, now for the next pack of creatures, Gilded Drake, Bone Shredder, or Flame Tongue Kavoo. What's your answer, Justin?
What's the last word?
Flame Tongue Kavoo.
Oh, Flame Tongue Kavoo. I think out of those 3 cards, I think I'm more of a sucker for Bone Shredder, even though that is completely off color to what I play.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that is a 2 and a black. It's a 1/1. It doesn't give you a 3/3 or a 2-mana 3/3 Gilded Drake to your opponent, which could matter in certain matchups because flying, evasive, like we don't really have a lot of, I'm gonna say, blockability in these decks across the 3 decks we have here right now for a 2-mana 3/3 flyer. I'm pretty sure I'm on birds, you're on birds, and Nick is not on birds. So we don't really have ability to block that creature, which is also another reason why we're also weak to Hippie. Kavu being a 4-mana 4/2 deal 4 to a creature is really solid, but it's also a 4-mana creature. Being 2 toughness, it dies to a lot of things, including Pyroclasm and a lot of other creatures. But it also has a different kind of ceiling. The meta-driven, I would probably play Gilded Drake in a Dreadnought meta. I would play Flametongue Kavu in a Goblins meta to an extent, but I'm not enjoying it. But Bone Shredder can go across several different metas, but it doesn't really deal with Dreadnought as a whole. And it's a cheaper cost for opportunity to destroy other creatures, especially in a lesser black meta. Compared to the Moneyball black meta that we're currently experiencing.
Yeah, you know what I love Flametongue Kavu in? Which matchup, which you did not yet mention? Sly. You ever FTK a fucking Jackal Pup?
Jackal Pup.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
Quick line
of... Yeah, my winning in, or my winning into my winning in. My winning into my ID in the last, I think it was spring, when I got like 4th out of 104 with Corned Beef Hash, the big breakout performance of this deck. Yeah, that's how I beat Sly. So I just FTK'd
So
sick.
That's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we are going to go back down the scale, but take a left turn, and we're going to talk about Artifact and Enchantment Hate. And I see that there is kind of, if you're going for one slot, it's Vigilante. It's like, this deck's so tight, I got no room. Vigilante. But then after Vigilante, and you only got 2 slots, you can either choose Efficiency and go like, Monk Realist, Octavi, or you can go double Vigilante if you want backup, in case one gets countered or you find yourself wanting to kill something else. But I'm going to name some cards. I want you guys to pick your main decks and your sides from among the following, or remind me if I forgot something. So we got Scavenger Folk. We got Monk Realist. We have a Human and an Elf Lyrist. We got Octavi Orangutan. We got Nantuko Vigilante. We got Thornscape Battle Mage, and we have Goblin Tinkerer. Did I forget any?
Not that I can think of. I think that's pretty good.
Okay. What are you guys playing? Main and side. What do you guys got?
So main and side, I'm running typically 1 Nantuko Vigilante main, 1 Thornscape Battle Mage main, and then side I'm running an additional 2 Nantuko Vigilantes. That card is so good. Folks in the elf community used to run Druid Lyrist, because Druid Lyrist is a human, and you could play it, and you could blow up an E-Plague, which was on elves. But it kind of ended up feeling a little narrow. It was a little slow versus Oath. And I think we all kind of concluded that if you run Nantuko Vigilantes, you care less about Plague, and it's more flexible than Druid Lyrist. So a lot of folks now are playing 3 or even 4 Vigilantes in their across their main and side. Sometimes 1 to 2 Thornscape Battle Mages, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Cool. Hell yeah. How about you, Justin?
So I'm currently at 2 Thornscape Battle Mage main deck, 1 Goblin Tinkerer sideboard, because want to beat Dreadnought, of course, as you would love to hear. And I'm on a total of 3 Vigilante right now. 1 main, 2 side.
Okay, word.
And I'm with Nick on this one. Nantuko Vigilante has been an absolute house, and it's mattered in a lot more matchups than I was expecting to matter since I started playing this deck.
And then, like, a really small benefit to Nantuko Vigilante, specifically in the elf list, is you actually, if you're running a Birchwood Rangers, a Tribal Forest Mage, and Nantuko Vigilante, you're running 3 different morph creatures, and sometimes you can really buy a counterspell on from a Dreadnought player, morphing a Birchler Ranger. And instead of morphing, because they just panic and think it's an Antuco Vigilante. So you can actually do some pretty cool like morph buffs with that, and it's definitely relevant.
Hell yeah. I am on one. Let me think. I'm on one Monk Realist main as the resident white mage in the room. One Vigilante and one Battle Mage main. So that's because it gives me doubles on everything, and this perfect trifecta, which delights me. It answers Oath and opposing survivals very very effectively because I can just go, okay, so I got survival facing an Oath, just untap next turn, go get realist, and then just kill it, just answer it. And it kind of fulfills the sniper shot that Bone Shredder or FDK or whatever would satisfy. It's not great against stuff that's bigger, like X3s, but I think I make the biggest creatures among us in my Terror Boars, in my Angels. Y'all can put more power on the board, but mine is more condensed. So I'm less intimidated by a single unit large creature. And then in the sideboard, I actually, if they're playing a lot of artifacts or enchantments, or I need a high density of it, that's one of those cases where I may consider boarding out survival. So if they're going mass enchantments, I'm playing Cataclysm. And if they're playing mass artifacts, either their deck is bad, or they're playing mass counter spells, and I need to punch something through, namely Dreadnought. I actually don't really worry about it that much. I just play Meddling Mage. I keep them all in. I think I board in like one naturalize, one disenchant, something like that. But I become markedly less survivally. Cool. Let's see here. All right. I got more category questions. So
let's go.
How are you getting your mountain? We got Yavimaya Granger. We got Yavimaya Elder, and we got Chartooth Cougar. Where's your mountain coming from?
Oh, you missed one.
I missed one.
You missed the banger. You missed the Big Daddy banger.
Wooded Foothills.
Crozen Tusker.
Crozen Tusker. Well said. Good reminder.
Yes.
So what do you guys
banger.
know? Teach me.
All right. So in elves, I'm almost always on Yavimaya Granger because you can, again, it's an elf. It counts for priest. You can bounce with symbiote. Sometimes you just play games where you're just bouncing it over and over again as a pseudo card draw, card advantage engine. As your like plan, you don't want to be in this spot, but it could be like a plan C where you're bouncing it, and it's also a 2/2, which doesn't care about plague. But Justin, what are you playing in Cradle Control?
All right, so on the current month right now, I am on the ye old Yavimaya Granger, like standard would be. During the Fall Brawl, I was not. I was on Crozen Tusker, and the amount of times I wanted to run my head through a wall was insane. I did not like Crozen Tusker. I had a lot of scenarios where I had to play a land, specifically like a cradle or forest, and just playing that land felt so bad because I couldn't just play another land with Tusker. I had to take that into account in everything I was doing. And it just turned to a giant headache. Yavimaya Granger, the fact that I put it directly into play has been absolute godsend. And I fully recommend being a Granger for that reason.
The ability to be able to play a cradle and get your mountain is just, I just think it's too good an opportunity. Like Crozen Tusker is cool, but I mean, when I was running in Cradle Control, I never even cast it. So it often just felt like 3 mana, get a land and draw a card is cool. But again, like you said, you have to play the mountain. And if you have a cradle and a mountain, that's a pretty hard choice.
Okay, so
like divination of sorts.
Yeah, so having your land drop intact. Okay, that's an interesting. I didn't realize that, but I mean, how many times have you done that to me? In the 4 years now we've been obsessed with pre-modern.
Right.
I just never really noticed the significance of that. That's really attuned. Cool. Let's see here. Some more questions. All right, so we got, how are you not dying? Wall of Blossoms, Wall of Roots, or some secret third thing?
I like Wall of Blossoms. There's definitely you definitely have less mana, but this, elves in particular does not really struggle with mana, and often you're just better off getting any card instead of Wall of Roots, because you can play a Wall of Roots, and if you have no cards, it doesn't really do anything in the deck. I think Wall of Blossoms is way better. It also plays way better with Genesis, because I don't know if you ever played against Mono Black and started looping Wall of Blossoms, but it feels really good to just play it every turn. I've had them smother my wall, and I just play it again next turn, and it's just really, really good. I've played Roots in the past, but I just don't think it's it.
I like Roots. I like Roots because I can activate it on my opponent's turn and tap their lands with a Rashadan port, and nobody sees it coming.
And I think it's way better in your deck because you're more mana hungry. You don't have every creature in your deck doesn't make mana. You know what I mean? So Wall of Roots makes way more sense in my opinion, especially since you have library, and you have more answers like swords to like kind of survive longer, right? A lot of these decks, notably, neither Justin or I have access to Swords of Plowshares, probably the best card in the format.
That's a good point.
I have played green white. I have a couple results with it playing swords in elves, but it's not easily done, and you're really kind of stretching your mana base to do it. We have to depend on that card advantage from Wall of Blossoms. Justin, do you agree?
So this is where I split off. I agree with both of you, and I disagree with both of you at the same time. There's a reason behind that. Playing Cradle Control, generally speaking, I do like the Wall of Blossom strategy. I think it's a lot better. You have a lot more mana to begin with. What I find that I have issues with in a lot of these, like, say, mountain matches, it's I cannot keep a creature in play. This is including mana doors. So generally speaking, I do love Call the Herd. I want to be able to cast Call the Herd. I want to be able to block their little red idiots. But overall, though, I love Wall of Roots in a standard elf deck when I combine it with Call the Herd. If I wasn't on Call the Herd, I don't think I would like Wall of Roots better. I think I would slip to Wall Blossoms. But like I said, I agree with both of you, but I disagree with both of you at the same time. Just based on like how I build.
How many lands are you on in Cradle Control?
Cradle Control, 22. Angry Elves, I'm on 19.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see that definitely in a lower land count too, because there's a lot of red matchups where you have to keep like a 2-lander and just hope that they don't kill all your guys. So Wall of Roots is definitely good for stabilizing your mana base.
Cool.
Stabilizing your mana base is definitely like something that you need to accomplish in the red matches, just because you cannot keep a creature in play, and it's brutal.
Oh yeah, it can be really, really tough. But I think one of the cool things about Cradle Control and elf lists that can pivot into Call of the Herds, Walls, Calls, and Masticores, you start to blank things like Lava Dart, which is normally such a house against your X1 deck because they can just one card you kill 2 of your guys, even if the cost of a mountain, it doesn't really matter if they're keeping you at 1 or 2 mana the entire game.
That's an incredibly important point. I have seen my last opponent play Sly. He was on Earthquake and Lava Dart in his deck list. And that Lava Dart, may I tell you, against standard elves was an absolute house, and it didn't work. Against Cradle Control, like, that 1 damage is not as scary. Like, sure, you will still get 2 for 1, depending on the scenario. But your creature's a little, I'm going to say, higher rear-ended than a standard elves deck.
Oh yeah, way more toughness in your deck than mine, that's for sure.
So Billy, do you have an issue with X1s as well with your deck being pinged with, like, say, a Lava Dart?
Not as much. Okay, so my X1s, there I have Birds and Weathered Wayfarer, and then everything else is just like specific bullets. Not as much. And the reason is I think that I play Safekeeper main. I don't know if you do, Justin.
I do not.
Okay,
It's a good idea though.
Yeah. So I play Safekeeper main. It enables some cool lines. Like I can search up Safekeeper and just like go get a Terrorborn and then just fucking kill them. Like just I win probably 15% of my games off of Safekeeper Angel. That's sort of my like late game goal is to get there. Because I can generally through mana disruption keep them off double white for a while. And I don't care if they wrath me. I don't not even that much. It's like because I can just survival and go get a Terrorborn. That's kind of my army in a can. I'm not really that upset. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd prefer otherwise. You know, it does stink to get all your shit shot, but I'm not like fucked up by a lava dart. Like it really doesn't perturb me that much. You know,
Do you cut Wayfarers in the Sly matchup?
Let me think. Against Sly, I'm mostly I don't know. The thing is, it's like again, I don't get swept as hard as you guys do. I don't think. And I just try to make a Terrorborn and then just kill them. I mean, I do sideboard. I do put a Baloth in my sideboard if I see Sly, but it's not the same way where my deck was like so cold that I just needed a fucking like Zarin Orb or some shit.
Well, right. I mean, for starters, you dodge Earthquake because you have birds.
Yeah, well, also, here's the other thing, too, is that, unlike y'all, I play Exalted Angel. There's the answer. Yeah, I play Swords and Exalted Angel. Yeah. If they're threatened to kill me, I just Swords a Terrorborn, and then eventually I play an Exalted Angel, and I protect it with a Safekeeper. And if they want to spend their whole hand trading land for land to get my Safekeeper or my Angel off board, that is fine by me. That's less in my face.
Oh, yeah.
And then I play a Terrorborn and I win. So I think Swords and Safekeeper really change it quite a bit. And we are back. Thanks for sticking with us, Hardcast fans. I'm Billy Mills Curran. I'm here with Sackboy Mayonnaise from the Duress Crew and Justin Pro-ven-sall, Dreadnought Killer. But he's branching out to Cradle Control. Nick, noted elf fanboy, and myself, I'm trying to put Mox Diamond and Survival in the same deck, and it is held by the glue of my phenomenal play skill alone. So, this is what's going on. We're shooting the shit about different survival theory, and to bring us back from the break. All right, so my next question is, looking and considering very carefully the pre-modern ban list, what needs to get unbanned to make Survival of the Fittest playable in pre-modern?
Dude, I don't even think that's the craziest thing. It's like whenever I look at the list as an elf player, I'm never like, man, I really wish I had that. There's just nothing. You know what I mean? Like Earthcraft, maybe.
Earthcraft,
like,
yeah, that seems the most fucked up one. Let me think. Entomb could do some fucked up things. If there's some, no, because survival just puts it in your graveyard. You don't need Entomb. Earthcraft,
right? Like
Goblin Recruiter.
I mean, Goblin Recruiter maybe, but like you just jam that in goblins, right? So
yeah, only two.
There's no reason not to play goblins at the point.
Let me think. Channel and Earthcraft are the only banned green cards.
Actually, you know what? Low key helps Survival a ton. You're gonna love this one.
Hang on.
I'll let you guess.
Let me see.
Mind Twist?
Nope.
I would
fuck
super hard with Strip Mine. Holy shit!
I can't give you a hint because it's too obvious. I give you the hint.
God. I'm looking at the ban list right now.
You know what card it is? Land Tax.
Yeah, that would fuck so hard.
Because that card was putting all the red decks to sleep And we were like, I don't care about land tax, bro. I make 1,000,000 mana on one land,
Yeah.
you know, like, and that card was helping really keep the goblins and sly players and black players away. So that was like prime time to play elves because your worst matchups were gone because they just got dumpstered by land tax.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, it's like in the same way that I have affection for Deathrite Shaman as a Storm player. It's like you can't really pick off one card and upset me. So
right,
it gave everybody percentage points against Reanimator just like incidentally. So people like chilled out on their like crypt effects or what have you.
Yeah, I definitely don't want land tax legalized, but
correct.
if it was, survival would just stalk through the moon.
Okay, so the last little bit of survival before we focus on some just-in talk, just-in-time. I looked at the 280 decks that were deemed professionally played that had survival in them, and I wrote down all of their archetypes. And the question is, we're gonna play a game? We're gonna play a game where it's name a survival deck that is really really good and it placed as a quote unquote professional event. And I will cross them off as we go, and then the first person to not name one loses and is deemed unfit for survival. Okay, so Justin, you get to go first as the guest. Name a survival deck that is good.
I'm gonna go Angry Elves.
Elves. Okay, Elves is off the list. Nick, name a survival deck that has placed at a professional tier event.
Feb.
Very good. Very good. Justin, your turn.
Oh, you're not
I'm
playing?
gonna go Alert.
Oh, come on.
I have the list.
Right.
Yeah.
Duh.
So
That'd be cheating, man. Come on.
okay.
Oh, Billy cheats all the time.
I'm a cheater. Justin, what is your next survival deck?
Alert.
Okay. So you have not named them all. You get one demerit, but that's really soon, so I'm going to keep playing. So Justin has one demerit. Or rather, we can say 1 point for Nick. Yeah. All right. Nick, your turn.
This is so. Wait, what happens if I'm like wrong? Like, what if I name a survival deck and it's not on the list?
That's what Justin just did.
Oh, okay. I want to say this is a gamble. Black green survival.
Black green survival is a professional survival deck.
Let's go,
Justin.
Survival zombie infestation.
Yes, that is on the list. Nick.
Fuck, dude.
Let's go, Aaron.
You didn't say cradle control already, did you? That's not
nope,
my answer.
not been named yet. That is satisfactory.
It's not been named yet. Okay.
Justin.
So
Oh, it is? Let's go.
Oof. God, the pressure's on right now. Okay, I don't think corned beef hash has made it there just yet. We named elves. I said to learn. Definitely not learn. I feel like there's like an Academy record deck that has survival in it. Am I wrong?
You
I know. God, this is a tough one. You know, I'm gonna go in the dark right now. I'm gonna say corned beef hash.
Corned beef hash got a top 64 by David Tao last year. You have saved yourself. You are fit.
This whole thing was just a ruse for Billy to talk about corned beef hash being played well.
Yes. Although it's not that hard to top 64 LobsterCon. Like speaking to, like I have top 64 LobsterCon. Year before last.
Everyone on this call has.
Yes. Some of us. Let me think. Nick, did you top 64? You top 16. Did you do well the year before?
I top 16 2024.
Yeah, but what about 23?
23, I got like 23rd place or something. That was the year Flint dumpstered me while he was wicked drunk on Fluctuator.
That was so cool.
That was so cool.
Yeah. All right.
That's fire.
Right. So Nick, what is your answer for a survival deck that is fit?
My god, this is tough.
We're running out.
Yeah, we're running out real quick. What else plays survival? Dude, I have no clue at this point. I think we named all. All right, hold on. Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
Does Feb encompass Hermit Feb?
Hermit Feb is a satisfactory answer.
Let's go.
Justin,
Oh,
your turn.
God, I feel like my fingernails are being ripped off right now. Oh gosh. I don't think Goblins has ever had.
Goblins is a satisfactory answer.
Oh,
there was a
almost said
survival goblins
yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
There was a
Are you
dude that played a
serious?
survival goblin
Yes.
list, and it was so cool, dude.
Oh
Yes.
my
Yep. Played a cradle. Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Hit us,
Oh,
Nick.
God.
You are
It's-
up. You are up.
Oh,
Are
man,
you
dude, I
are
don't
you
know.
surviving, or are you the goblin with the ice axe in its chest?
Oh, dude, I think I might be. I can't think of anything else. Oh, opposition.
Yes. Survival, trade
Oh
win,
my
opposition. There we go. You have survived. You are fit this round. Justin,
Oh God.
can you name a good survival deck which has not yet been named?
How many do we have left? One?
There are 3 left.
3.
There's 3. Oof. Okay. You got me swimming bullets over here. I'm trying to think of, like, stuff that I've done in the past. Like,
Dreadnought is not a survival deck.
oh, whoa. I got this. Blue Green Madness.
Blue Green Madness. Very good.
Oh,
2
All right,
remain.
this is gonna be really hard. All right, you gotta. This one's really off the wall because I'm running out of options here. So there were people that were brewing in the space of a survival combo deck with Sutrid Ghoul.
Oh,
Is that one of them?
no. Nick, you get
No.
a demerit. So we'll say we'll call the game when somebody gets 2 demerits in a row, and we'll call the other person the winner, and I will reveal the final answers. Justin, can you name a survival deck which has not yet been named?
Infinite Life Game.
Yes.
What?
Life combo featuring Worthy Cause has placed. Justin is alive.
Dude. There's
Nick-
only one left.
Yes, there is one survival deck which is quote unquote good. And Nick, you got the last demerit, so if you can't name it, you lose. And
I'm
Justin
done,
is
dude.
the
I
fittest.
just can't play survival anymore. I want to say I don't know, like if there's. Oh, dude, like green white survival. I don't
No.
know, dude. Yeah,
Can you name it?
no, dude, I can't.
It's Welder.
Let me think.
Oh,
I
Welder,
wanted-
dude.
You
I
have
haven't seen that deck
died.
in so
You have
long.
died.
I'm dead, dude. That deck was so
Damn it.
cool, dude.
Yep. So for those who don't know, something else you can do that's fucked up with survival is you can fetch up artifact creatures and flick them back with a welder and fuck with
Yep,
people.
just Skellion loops.
Yep. Let's see here. So we
Angle
didn't-
wire loop pod too.
Yeah. We didn't really get into it, listeners, but just to fill you in, survival is a very diverse card. We were just naming some decks, but you can play. There's kind of, I would say yes, you can just kind of randomly put survival in a deck that can play green, which is what's going on with Corned Beef Hash and that Goblins player. You can play it in some like crazy combo decks to put the pieces together, like Alurin, Infinite Life combo with like Worthy Cause and like Clerics. Or a Feb, which is super hard to play. But
Mr.
there's kind of this other family of survival decks, which is the Madness decks, which we didn't talk about at all. We're not going to get into it, but they are like a 3 or a 4 squee deck, and they're not using survival to get silver bullets. They're using survival to get material, just shit, just dump shit in the graveyard, or to like abuse the fact that they can get multiple discard triggers. Cool. So, let's see here. I asked my shitty question. I asked my mini game, and yeah. So, Nick, you wanted to do a little interview with Justin about his recent strong performance with survival. Yeah, take it away.
So I want to preface this this little mini interview with one question, Justin. Do you like Cradle Control?
No, I hate it.
Yeah, I knew the answer. You're not a fan.
So I'll give you a reason why though, and this is the actual reason I don't like it. I continue to play it, including in the monthly currently. to try to figure out if there's a way for me to make it that I do like it. I haven't given up. In the current iteration, starting with the Fall Brawl, I played, I'm going to say, the original creator of Frank Raffaello's list minus 2 cards. I took out 2 cards and I put in Abundance because I'm a very spicy person. And I took out a Naturalized to put in Goblin Tinker on the sideboard. Other than that, I pretty much played Frank's list, the original creator. My issue with the deck is something we actually discussed earlier in the podcast, is you lose matches that you don't normally lose because the deck is slower than Angry Elves. And I'm going to include this today. Today, I was playing against Enchantress. I've never lost to Enchantress with Elves. Creative Control being a slower deck, I lost to Enchantress. Yeah, it was a fantastic match. It was against Michael Phillips. It was a nice 3-game match, and it was a very well-played match. And it just happens. Like, the deck's slower. And for that reason, I don't tend to like it as much as Angry Elves.
Yeah. No, I mean, so I've had the same experience. Mike Phillips, great Enchantress player, by the way. Really good player. I had probably close to like a 75 or 80% win rate against Enchantress on Elves, like, all time. Like, I am so not scared of that matchup. And I lost to it at Eternal Weekend, and I was like, okay, that's not a good sign. Like, and it wasn't even like, oh, I misboarded or mulligan. Like, no, I had the tools I normally use, like Tangle Wire, but I just didn't have the pressure or speed to race them, and they just ended up getting out from underneath it. So your Fall Brawl performance is pretty good. You got all the way up to the semifinals. Never played Cradle Control before the Fall Brawl. Do you want to kind of go through your Fall Brawl run and your highs, your lows, cool plays, anything like that?
So I haven't thought about the Fall Brawl for a while. I can talk about certain things. I can talk about the 2 separate batches of matches. So let's just start with the first batch. The first batch was a batch of 4 matches. In the batch, I went 3-1. My first loss and my first match is the most important match I'm going to mention. My first loss was to Ty Thomason on Angry Elves.
Great pilot.
Who I then played. Fantastic pilot. I thought it was a fantastic matchup for him. I was scared. I was like, yep, I'm going to lose. I'm just doing it for the video. I was fully prepared to get absolutely steamrolled. So when I originally played him, he was my first match ever with a deck. I didn't pick up a single game with a deck prior to that match. And I lost pretty soundly at 2-0. And then going to round 2, another 4-matcher. My one loss was to Replenish. I felt worse against the Replenish matchup with Cradle Control than I ever felt with on Angry Elves. I felt like so the way I play Angry Elves is I have 4 Tangle Wire, 3 Wastelands. I felt more sure with that configuration than a slower configuration on Cradle Control. Both of my losses went on to top 8 their event. At Ty got an 8-0, and then I believe the other gentleman that I lost to, his name was Sebastian. He went for the 7-1. Which, thank God for both of their records, because I was able to sneak in as the 8th seed into the top 8 of the Fall Brawl.
Yep. Yeah, you played Ty in the quarterfinals, right?
I did. So in the Fall Brawl, they recommend once you get to the top cut that you play a best of 5 match, which the reason I'm talking about this is the very important part. You get more matches in. It kind of removes a small portion of the variance from the match. So game 1, I get absolutely smoked by Ty. Game 2, I win. Game 3, I win. Now I lose game 4. Now we're in the final match. And I remember this match very well because this was the deciding factor of that match. Ty had an early survival, and he had limited number of cards in hand. He molds, I mold. I get survival, I get Sylvan play. He has a survival play, and he's just not really like doing much. It's a lot of like pass from like both sides, trying to like form hands. I'm using my survival. I'm pitching my cards left and right, and he's just not activating survival. And come to find out a lot later on that the card in his hand, because he kept missing on creatures, he had a Goblin Sharpshooter in hand.
Oh, he didn't want to pitch it.
He didn't want to pitch it because this is one of those things that, like, once you pitch it in Standard Elves, unless you're running Genesis, you don't really get that back. And being on Cradle Control, running Genesis, I was able to get back my card. And I can just pitch whatever I want. I can get it back later on at a cost of a mana, or 3 mana is what I should say. And I feel like having that balance was nice. Because of that being the only creature in his hand and his fear of discarding it, we did discuss it later on that the right move was to discard it and then try to race me with his own survival. And I believe that if he had discarded it as soon as he could have and started getting a priest in play, the game was over. I was contributing to his elf count. He was contributing to his elf count. I think he just wins the game hands down. The variance portion comes in. He just couldn't draw a creature, and he was drawing blanks in the match. A notable play that I made in that match was instead of playing out my survival, I held up naturalize. So on his turn 2, when he played his survival, I was able to naturalize it on his end step before he drew another survival.
Sick.
So that was a
good feeling.
very important, fantastic play.
That's kind of one of the reasons that, like, Sharpshooter is really good, but maybe the alternative plan was at least get a priest and go from there. Maybe he was respecting Pyroclasm, or, I'm not going to commentate on exactly what he was thinking, but I played a list very similar to Ty's recently, and the deck feels really, really good. His elf list is very, very powerful. The only games I've lost were games that I've been flooded. Games that have a survival and I can't find a creature for some reason, which is crazy. He runs like 35 creatures in his deck, or 33. So it's a really, really high count compared to something like Billy's deck. Billy runs like 22 creatures, 21 creatures.
Like
yeah, it's a definitely sketchier number.
It's super sketchy.
Yeah, sometimes you're just like, I have a survival and hope you don't have any interaction because it's just not doing anything.
Yep.
But I watched that match, Justin. I thought it was really good. I was pulling for you. I know you were like kind of sweating bullets a little bit about it because of the experience in Swiss. So you won the quarterfinals and you went on to semifinals to play the deck of the week, Moneyball Black. For listeners who may be newer, Moneyball Black is a mid-range black deck with cards like Hypnotic Spectre, Ravenous Rats, Cabal Therapy, Duress. You can kind of think about like Pit Rack without the pit or the rack. It's really, really good deck. It won the largest pre-modern event ever in Spanish Nationals. And you had to play it in the semifinals versus I believe his screen name is Grantley, and he, kind of the guy who made the deck. Do you want to go over that match a little bit?
Yeah, I can try to remember some stuff that happened. So game 1, I'm on the draw the entire event, being that quality thing we call the 8th seed. So my opponent leads with Swamp, Dark Ritual, Hippie, and at that point, I'm scared. Like I'm allowed to be scared. Like he's just eating away at my hand. Being Cradle Control, you don't get aggressive hands, especially if they have like any form of interaction. The biggest takeaway from the match is my luck clearly was not there, and his luck was. Hippie was hitting bangers left and right that entire match. It was, if I remember this correctly, it was a total of 4 matches. I had won the second pre-board game, but I had lost the first match, and I lost both of the post matches that we played. Hippie was just doing hippie stuff. There was a match, I believe it was the third match when we were 1-1, that he had drawn a curse scroll. And I'm looking at it like, I can't beat this right now. I think I had like a poacher in play. I'm like, okay, so what can I get with a poacher to try to see if I can, because I can't race this. Because I'm at 2 life at this point. I've already taken a numerous number of hits at this point from, I believe it was a Tuku Shade and a Withered Wretch and Hippies for multiple turns. What can I do? What can I do? So the thought process was, okay, so if it's not in my hand and poacher can't find it, what can I do? So I activated it. I found a Multani's Acolyte. I drew the Tuku Vigilante. I only had 4 mana in play. I have Sylvan Library in play. So I'm like, okay, so what can I do? If I draw a land, I survive, and I hopefully win the game, because that's his only form of direct damage that's not creature-based. So I kick good, go to my turn, untap, Sylvan Library. No lands. I instantly die that match. And we discussed this earlier in the match, talking about flying blockers when we were discussing the Gilded Drake scenario. Not really having a quality flying blocker like Billy does with Corned Beef Hash with his Exalted Angels in an elf deck can lead to a lot of problems. Sometimes that life gain and just really does hurt, because every time an Exalted Angel swings, that's an 8-point swing. Whenever a Hippie swings, that's a 2-point swing, but you're losing resource. And it was just brutal, losing resources left and right when you can't really block. Birds is a blocker for a turn, but it's nothing permanent. And being on creative control, not really hitting your land drops, you really do rely on that mana heavily. And because you're not getting your mana, you can't really survive long term. Very notable for the match, my opponent's deck list, Gramfly. He was on 4 Engineered Plague. 2 of what's the creature that deals 1 damage to each creature and player during the upkeep?
Plague Spitter, notable enemy of survival.
Plague Spitter.
Yeah, that
very much so. He was also on 1 of Funeral Charm, which I do not think he brought in. I was scared of that card as well. And he was on 2 Dystopias. This was a lot of hate to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
He did have a match where he had turn 1 the Plague Spitter, and I'm sitting there with a Linorels and a Wirewood in hand, and I'm like, how do I deal with this? Like, all these creatures are 2/2s. I die, and I
cast Pyroclasm.
Yeah. This is where I bring out the conversation of, with the current iteration of creative control that I'm messing around with, I'm up to a 3rd Pyroclasm, and I'm on 4 Calder Herds. I really can't deal with that match like that again. I'm hedging my bets because he's still in the Fall Brawl. I'm sure I will play a deck similar to that in the near future. I'm just trying to find a way to deal with his deck, and hopefully the 3 Pyroclasms and the 4 Calder Herds do help. I don't think generally it should be a bad match. I think I'd be a lot more confident with Angry Elves because of the whole speed issue. I think Creative Control might be too slow for the match. Something to consider from an Angry Elves point of view, if you are in a heavy Moneyball Black meta, I would think about a 1 of or a 2 of Thornscape Battle Mage. That card is absolutely fantastic in the match, especially if you can keep your mana. But it's definitely a very strong card.
Yeah, because you can kill the hippie, rips. You can kill, you can kill hippies, which is huge. You can kill curse scrolls if you're splashing for white, or you have access to white.
They're fucking main deck crypts, the perverts. Yeah.
They're running crypts
sometimes,
no
or not crypts. Furnaces.
Yeah. Okay, furnace. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, sometimes you gotta destroy one of those. Yeah. And Justin, I kind of like feel the same sentiment. Like I do like. On paper, I thought Cradle Control would be like paired a little better, but to your point, there's a couple of times I played that matchup, Cradle Control and Moneyball Black, and I was sitting there just like, oh, I could kill them if I had all this other stuff in my deck, or it would just be like, they bring in so much hate that every top deck is so scary. It's like they could draw Plague, they could draw Perish, they could draw, if they're running it, they run Dystopia, whatever. And it's really actually like a tougher matchup on paper, than it would normally seem. So that means Grant Fly, he's going to the finals with his Moneyball Black deck, potentially playing against. This might even be done by the time this episode releases, but playing against Crazy Carl on Feb, or playing against Brandon E on his custom Booberry combo deck. No, I don't know what that deck does or how it wins, but I do know the name of it.
That's amazing.
I do have an idea on
What?
how Brandon deck wins. So it's an Illusions of Grandeur deck with Donate. That is one of the win conditions.
Okay.
That is a Dream Halls base. So he's a blue-black base deck. So he's able to show and tell Dream Halls into play as early as, I think, turn 1. And like he can just pitch. Yeah. And it's just a wild combo.
I heard about this deck. I don't. They did a deck tech on,
I don't know if he's favored.
They did a deck tech on Monster of the Week, like in depth. It's very interesting.
Great
guys
podcast.
have very
Check it out.
Oh, that's wild. I gotta watch it.
Cool. So let's I'm gonna try and close this podcast out. I have 3 I have a question for the gang, for all of us, and I have some Justin specific questions. All right?
Let's go.
Cool. All right. So the last survival question will be, what sort of like space, idea, package of cards, something like that, what do you think is underexplored in survival that you think might be a creative way to spend your time?
Oh, this is a weird thought. Oh.
This is a really specific case, and I'm not really sure because this is already explored a bit in the zombie infestation deck, but I really love Baskin Rootwalla, Survival, and Cradle. It feels so insane to be able to just chain Wallas out with the Survival and have like the extra mana. Like, yeah, you wipe my board, cool. Here's 4 Root Wallas and I have a Cradle out. Yeah, like that's just something I want to do. Dog.
In 10 fetch PM, Blue Green Madness is one of my picks for deck that gets the most gain, because Misty Rainforest means you can play Cradle, right, or Wasteland, or Gush. I'm not sure yet. But.
Right, I think between that and Red White Goblins with Aaron Mesa are probably my 2 picks. But I really think the only deck that's really doing the Root Walla thing is the Infestation deck. That's mostly because you can do that, but there's 0 space for Cradle in that deck. Maybe you can get one, and I don't know. I want to see what else there is in that space.
So, Justin, what survival space do you think is underexplored?
So this is gonna sound bad. I think that we're already playing an extent to this right now.
Sure,
but we're not really. I'm a real sucker for Genesis right now.
Okay.
I've been hot and cold on this. At first, when I built Elves, I put Genesis in, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I listened to Nick. I took it out because why not? I'm gonna talk to Nick. Nick knows what he's talking about with Elves. This is just like a general fact in the community. And then I started playing Angry Elves. I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm missing something sometimes. My silver bullets are kind of dying. And then Cradle Control really reopened my eyes on Genesis. That I love it. Like, I would probably consider one of in the sideboard right now as a cyber slot for the long grinding matches where they pick apart your hand and you really need to just like finish the game out, but with how much removal they have, that it might be a slot considering.
Cool. All right. My answer to my own question is I want to see some stuff with Karmic Guide, particularly with Natural Order, because you can.
Oh.
Yeah. So the tough thing about fatties, it's like, well, what if you draw them? Okay, discard it and go get a Karmic Guide. So that's one of the weaknesses of the Natural Order decks, is that you sometimes get screwed and you get your Verdant Force or whatever it is in your Phantom Nishuba. I think it is worth Like, and then later on you can like natural order for, I don't know, verdant forest, and they make you sacrifice it with an edict or something. And then you just like, actually, I mean, that would never happen to a verdant forest. So sorry.
Right.
You get your Neshoba and they make you sacrifice it with an edict. And then you go, okay, cool. Karmic guide, get it back. So it makes it less painful to play the fatty, and it gives you a second copy of the relevant fatty with the karmic guides. Also, Fran had an idea of 2 karmic guides and a goblin bombardment. It's a kill. So,
Yep, that is an infinite loop.
Oh gosh, she's right.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Pretty interesting. It can like just kind of come out of nowhere late. You know, you got your early.
Definitely.
Yeah. So kind of a cool idea. Okay, cool. So that's the last survival question, and here's my last Justin question. Okay, so we are forming a question pain train on Hardcast. This is a tradition that kind of died off, but we're bringing it back. So Jonathan Phillips was the last interviewee, and he has a question for you. And the question is, give me some album recommendations, like kind of like if you have any sort of like insider knowledge on music, or like maybe a certain genre, and you think, you know, everybody listens to Black Sabbath, everybody listens to the Beatles or whatever. But like, do you have any like cuts on albums that's like, you know what, this album deserves more attention?
I am. So wow, I never in a million years thought I was about to ask this question. I listen to a ton of music.
Sure.
Doesn't mean I can tell you exactly what is quality music. Based on my current environment, I've been listening to a lot of Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll?
I've been really enjoying Jelly Roll. Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's different for me.
He has a fantastic interview through. So the New York Times does like a long form Sunday interview that they publish as a podcast. I think that they are so insanely good at podcast editing. I quite admire their production team. And he has a wonderful interview where he talks about like where he came from, and like he grew up hard. He had some rough experiences as a youth. So I think Jelly Roll has a very legitimate human experience, which I think we can all learn from. So I think that's a better answer than you might have thought. Okay, so Jelly Roll, cool. So
yeah,
as
I've
you
just
have
been really enjoying music.
Hell yeah. So as the answer of this question and as a guest on this podcast, you get to form the next link in the chain. So when I get the next guest, what would you like to know about them? It can be magic, non-magic, whatever kind of question you want. I will ask it of them. And the chain, one more link in the chain.
All right, so I'm going to make this kind of magic related, but not at the same time. What does it mean to you to get mentally prepared for a tournament? Do you go through a ritual? Do you go through a thought process? Do you just eat a different food? Like, what does it mean for you to get ready for a tournament to be successful?
Okay, cool. So trying to win, trying to spike a tournament, what's your morning look like night before? Or is it like extend months ahead of time? Like, what does tournament prep look like to you? I can do that.
And how to be successful.
Yeah, how to be successful.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Love it.
I think that wraps it up almost. It is now time for shout outs. Cool. You wanna go first, Nick?
Yeah. Let me think of some shout outs coming up. We got ELD monthly coming up next. Never mind. It's gonna be before this episode's out. I'm trying to think of past the episode date. Right now, we're working on getting our next winter regional date, targeting probably early March 2026. Don't really want to run the winter regional in February and get blown out by a blizzard. So we're going to be targeting early March, try and get something with some nicer weather. So stay tuned for that. Folks who did register for LobsterCon, which happens before this episode comes out, keep an eye on your emails. I will be reaching out with further communications, especially folks who want proxies. If you sign up for our event, you will be eligible to receive some nice proxies for whatever side event you're signed up in. But keep an eye on your email so you're included on that. Aside from that, I don't have many shout outs to the elf community, who's always brewing so many cool lists, so much cool tech, all the folks in there. Yeah, thanks, Justin, for coming on.
I appreciate you guys having me. I had a wonderful time. I think Survival needs to get a little more love than it has been currently. I think there's a lot of players that aren't playing Survival, and I feel like they're missing out right now.
Justin, do you have any shout outs? Anything you wanna, events you wanna shout out, people you wanna thank? Any last fuck yous to the community for ever doubting you? Like, what do you got?
So first shout out is Lanny. Yes, I play decks that aren't Dreadnought. This is a fact as of this podcast. Second shout out is definitely Frank Ruffalo's for putting the deck together. And third shout out is definitely going to be towards Patsky or Ireland King on online MTGO for his new deck that I think deserves its own podcast in the near future.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if we could set that up. Snap Cradle Pod.
Oh yeah,
he didn't come up with a name,
bro.
but it's
yeah.
Patrick Chapin, like elves translated to pre-modern. It feels pretty real.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, I heard some murmurings about that. Okay, cool. Let's see. Do I have any shout outs? Not really. Ian Adams just texted me just now. Just DM'd me and was like, "Hey, Pandemonium event." So there's a sneaky rogue offsite event for LobsterCon. It should likely be open on the publication date of this podcast. So if you wanna play pre-modern on Thursday night before LobsterCon, you can do that. It's gonna be at Pandemonium Books and Games in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's like a mile and a half, so it's like a walk. It's a bit of a walk.
Bad, though.
It's not bad. It's actually pretty pleasant. And then you can like the walk between Kendall Square and Cambridgeport is like it's pretty pleasant. You know, you can stop, get yourself, I don't know, like a little snack, like some cool little panini and a beer or something on your way there.
Yeah.
So
I'll put the registration link for that event once we get it, so folks can sign up. That will be a separate event, like Billy said, from LobsterCon. So if you sign up for LobsterCon, you have to sign up for that separately. But Redline Tree Folk killing it as always. Their event last year was awesome. Last year they gave out a Guru Swamp. I hear rumblings there might be another Guru Land up for grabs, so you definitely don't want to miss that.
Cool. That wraps it up. Thank you for listening to Hardcast. Thank you for trusting us with your time. Thank you for being such a great pre-modern Magic community. If you are listening to this on YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify, you can like actually hang on. You can listen to this on YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify. You can listen however you like. You can get us in the RSS feed. We have a link tree where you can find all of our social media accounts. I'm going to post it in the show notes. We run a YouTube channel where you can watch old school and pre-modern content. We have a Twitch channel where you can watch some games. We're going to be streaming LobsterCon. It's a big fucking party in that. It's super fun. I am likely going to be doing some commentary. I don't know yet. Let me think. What else is going on? Yeah. That's it, man. Follow us on Twitter.
Shouts to you for being you.
Thanks. And you for being you. And Justin for being Justin. And most of all, you, our listeners, for being a listener. That's it. Goodbye.
Later.